There's a quiet shift happening beneath the surface of 2026, a ripple in the energy field that most people won't notice until it changes everything. You may think luck is random, that wealth chooses people at random, but in Feng Shui we know different. We know that luck is a pattern, and 2026 carries one of the most powerful energetic alignments in over a decade. This year is ruled by the water element and by the numerological vibration of number 1, the number of new beginnings. It's a cosmic reset. And just like water seeks the path of least resistance, luck in 2026 flows toward those who are aligned, not just with themselves, but with the rhythm of the year. But here's where it gets more precise. According to traditional Chinese metaphysics, not all zodiac signs are affected equally. Only 6 of the 12 animal signs will be in direct resonance with the year's dominant energy. And for these 6, the results can be extraordinary. Breakthroughs in career, unexpected windfalls, deep emotional healing, and even the opening of long-blocked dreams. This is not superstition. This is not vague hope. This is Feng Shui, an ancient science of energy, timing, and space. And today, we're diving straight into the 6 Chinese zodiac signs that are destined to receive the strongest wave of support in 2026. Whether you're curious, cautious, or hopeful, this may be the insight you've been waiting for. Especially if you felt like life has held you in place for too long, stay with me. One of these signs may be yours, and if it is, 2026 won't just be a new year, it will be a turning point. 6. The pig, the quiet harvest. There's a softness about the pig that many overlook. In a world that often rewards noise and speed, the pig moves differently, quiet, steady, enduring. And perhaps that's why this sign lands at number 6 for 2026. Not because it's the loudest, but because it aligns so gently, so naturally with the water energy that shapes the year ahead. The pig is already water-born, which means its internal rhythm is already in tune with the year's dominant element. This alignment doesn't create explosions, it creates resonance. And resonance, though often invisible, changes everything. You don't see sound waves, but you feel them. And in 2026, the pig will feel doors easing open, not forced, not chased, just open. What does this mean in real life for many born under the pig? Financial progress will not come from risk or aggression. It will come from consistency finally recognized. A manager who overlooked you now sees your steadiness. An old investment nearly forgotten ripens. A side project that once brought no return begins to gain quiet traction. You won't be chasing breakthroughs, they'll begin to orbit you. But here's a thought that may surprise you. Sometimes the hardest thing is not giving, but receiving. The pig, often cast as the caretaker, is deeply conditioned to provide. But in 2026, that identity is gently challenged. The universe begins to give back not because you asked, but because the cycle requires it. And the question isn't, will good things come? The question is, will you allow yourself to accept them? Not with guilt, not with hesitation, but with grace. This is a year where spiritual healing holds just as much value as material gain. The sense of peace you've long postponed for others, 2026 will offer it back, but again, not loudly. It may come in early mornings where your thoughts feel clearer, or in a quiet moment when you realize the anxiety you used to carry no longer visits. That too is abundance. Now let's move inward, into the home, because Feng Shui at its heart is not just theory, it's placement. In 2026, the north sector of your space is especially significant. Why? Because that's where water's energy pools. A clear bowl of water with a pinch of sea salt placed in the north activates wealth chi for pigs. It's not decorative, it's directional. Water doesn't just sit, it listens. It holds memory. And when you whisper your intentions into it each morning, you're not asking, you're aligning. You're reminding the space that you're ready to receive. The east also matters. A small morning ritual: change the water, speak one sentence of gratitude, let it be real, not performative. I'm thankful for the peace in my body today. I'm thankful that I don't have to rush. These are not wishes, they're acknowledgements. Energy flows where recognition goes. In relationships, there's something beautifully quiet awakening. The pig's natural warmth becomes magnetic, but not in the way of drama or high romance. It's simpler, deeper. A partner truly hears you, or someone new enters not with fireworks but with calm, and in that calm you feel safe. For some, this will be the year of reconnection. Relationships thought long gone slowly rebuilding themselves, not through grand gestures but through small acts of consistency. For others, it may be about welcoming a child or rediscovering intimacy in long-term bonds. These aren't sudden moments, they're gradual, and that's what makes them last. There is a misconception that to be lucky, you must be bold, vocal, or relentless, but the pig teaches otherwise. Sometimes being attuned is more powerful than being aggressive. Sometimes quietly showing up every day creates a stronger foundation than chasing constantly. And in 2026, this truth becomes visible. So perhaps the bigger invitation is not how can I do more to get lucky, but where have I already done enough and now need to trust? Because that's what 2026 is for the pig, a quiet harvest. A moment when effort meets timing, when space meets serenity, when the echo of all your giving finally returns to its source. You may ask yourself, is it really my time? Maybe the better question is, have I allowed myself to believe it could be? Because luck does not roar at your doorstep. It often knocks quietly, and only those who have cleared the noise know how to hear it. 5. The dragon born for the spotlight. There's a unique kind of silence that follows a dragon who has not yet stepped into their light, not because they lack power, but because the world around them isn't always ready. And yet in 2026, something shifts, not in the dragon, but in the world. The energy begins to match what the dragon has quietly held inside all along. This is not about sudden luck, it's about long-delayed recognition. The water element that rules 2026 may seem like a soft partner for such a bold sign, but that's where most people misread it. Water is not weakness, water is strategy, water is reflection, water expands without force. And the dragon, when at its highest form, is not just fire and thunder, it is vision. It sees beyond what's obvious. It acts when others wait. It believes when others need proof. And 2026 finally becomes the mirror that reflects this inner command. Professionally, this is not the year for grinding. It's the year where what you've already done finds its audience. A dragon doesn't beg for approval, but this year approval arrives anyway. People begin to look to you not for tasks, but for direction. And while you may have spent years waiting for your efforts to be seen, now you might find yourself wondering why the spotlight suddenly feels so warm. Is it surprising, or is it overdue? When it comes to career moves, this year is about elevation. Promotions may not even need pursuit, they may come as suggestions from those above. New business opportunities may arise not through effort, but through alignment. The idea you shelved because no one's ready might find sudden traction. This is the year when silence breaks, not with noise, but with clarity. And it's clarity that positions the dragon exactly where they belong, not just in charge, but trusted. But there's something even more personal unfolding in 2026. Dragons often carry an invisible burden, the pressure to live up to the symbol. People see them as fierce, untouchable, always strong. And so dragons sometimes hide the softness, the uncertainty, the fatigue of always being on. This year changes that too. Water doesn't just reflect, it soothes. And dragons, for perhaps the first time in a long time, might feel free to be seen as both powerful and human. Relationships mirror this shift. Charisma has always been there, but now that magnetism deepens, not because the dragon tries harder, but because they stop trying. There's a difference between performing connection and allowing it. In 2026, meaningful partnerships emerge not from grand gestures, but from mutual recognition. The kind that says, I see your fire, but I also see your quiet. Whether it's a long-standing relationship healing from old wounds, or a new connection born from shared purpose, this year rewards honesty, not polish. In the home, the East sector becomes a sacred space. It resonates with the dragon's own growth potential this year. Keep it bright, keep it clear. Place a jade dragon facing outward as a symbol not of conquest, but of confident presence. This isn't about warding off negative energy. It's about broadcasting what's already rising inside you. The jade does not shout, it rests. And that rest in its stillness declares, I know who I am, spiritually. 2026 may ask a deeper question than usual. Not what are you building, but why do you build? The dragon's vision is powerful, but without rooted purpose, it can become exhausting. This is a year to return to meaning, to let the spotlight be not just a stage, but a reflection of something real. For some, that might mean returning to a spiritual practice. For others, it may be found in mentoring, in storytelling, in making space for others to rise alongside you. Power is not threatened by presence, it is expanded by it. But what if you're not feeling powerful at all? What if recent years have dulled your confidence, questioned your path? Then 2026 might not feel like a spotlight, it might feel like a mirror you've been avoiding. And yet that's exactly when the dragon's true energy emerges. Because dragons don't rise from ease. They rise from knowing that the fire was never gone, only covered. This year asks you to consider, are you hiding because you're uncertain or because you've been too used to being misunderstood? Because maybe the world didn't get you before, but maybe that's because it wasn't ready, and maybe now it is. You were never meant to follow the light. You were meant to be it. 2026 doesn't change who you are, it simply stops resisting it. And once that resistance fades, what remains is not ego, not arrogance, but alignment. If your inner voice has grown quiet over the years, not from peace but from caution, this is your chance to let it speak again. Not loudly, not to convince, but to confirm. The dragon doesn't chase applause, it rises because it must. And when it does, everything else adjusts. For the rat, the master of the invisible move, not everyone notices the rat at first. That's never been the point. While others speak louder, shine brighter, or chase harder, the rat studies, it listens, it adapts. And by the time the world looks up, it's already moved quietly, effectively, beyond the noise. That's what makes 2026 so aligned with the rat. It's a year ruled by water, and water favors the one who sees without needing to be seen. The rat doesn't just move fast, it moves smart. And in 2026, intelligence is no longer a background virtue, it becomes a currency. When the year's energy shifts toward flow and mental sharpness, the rat's natural qualities come to the forefront. You won't need to force attention. Circumstances will begin to notice what you've always brought: awareness, calculation, and timing. Professionally, this may be the year when the things you did quietly are finally acknowledged. That late-night strategy no one asked for but worked. That client who came back not because you chased, but because they remembered how you made them feel. Recognition doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with respect. A project handed to you because no one else sees the pieces like you do. A role offered not because you stood out, but because you stood steady. Financially, 2026 opens subtle doors. This is not lottery energy, it's pattern recognition. The stock others overlook, the partnership others dismiss. The real estate move no one dares, but you sense it, not because you're bolder than the rest, but because you see the small signs, the shifts in flow. Water energy rewards those who track movement, and no one reads the undercurrent quite like the rat. But there's a catch most people don't talk about. Rats often carry the weight of overthinking. You see so many angles that you sometimes talk yourself out of action. 2026 brings you clarity, but clarity means little without confidence. The question isn't whether your instincts are right, it's whether you'll trust them before the moment passes, because this year the window may be narrow, but the reward is wide. In relationships, the same theme plays out. You've always been observant, sometimes too observant, picking up on shifts in tone, changes in habits, energy that others miss. But this year, that sensitivity is no longer just self-protection. It becomes connection. Partners open up more because they feel seen, not judged. Friends come closer not because you chase them, but because they feel safe near you. For the rat, 2026 is the year when emotional intelligence becomes emotional magnetism. If your past relationships have felt transactional, this year offers a reset, not with declarations, but with presence. Not "I need you," but "I understand you." And for those who have carried heartache quietly, this year's water energy offers something better than closure: calm. The kind that doesn't need words to explain why it feels better, because it just does. Within the home, Feng Shui becomes your amplifier. The north sector, governed by water, is your natural domain this year. Keep it clean, keep it open. A simple flowing water element, a small fountain, a bowl with pebbles and movement, can mirror your own subtle power. This is not decorative, it's directive. Feng Shui is not superstition, it's spatial psychology. It tells your environment what kind of energy to support. And in your case, it tells it to support clarity. A piece of polished crystal in this zone can enhance focus. A mirror, round and clear, helps reflect not just light, but vision. You don't need your house to be perfect. You need it to be attentive. Place one object with care and you'll feel the shift. Spiritually, the rat's journey this year isn't about discovery, it's about belief. You've already discovered what you're capable of. Now the test is softer. Can you own it without needing proof? That's the invisible move, the one no one else sees, but you know it changed everything. But what if the success starts coming and you don't feel worthy of it? What if part of you still believes you must hustle, prove, over-deliver? That's where the water year becomes medicine. Not because it slows you down, but because it washes away the illusion that effort is the only price of success. For the rat, sometimes the bravest thing is not to run faster, but to let the reward arrive without explaining why you deserve it. So ask yourself not, am I ready, but am I willing to stop doubting what I've already prepared for? Because 2026 doesn't just give the rat an open door. It gives you permission to walk through it quietly, confidently, without waiting for validation. You've mastered the art of watching others win. This year asked you to try something else, to win without the world watching, to feel the shift in energy and know before anyone says it out loud that you moved exactly when the tide turned. Because for the rat, it was never about being first. It was about being right and knowing that's more than enough. 3. The rabbit, growing without pushing. Some signs are noticed for their roar, others for their timing, but the rabbit is different. It's not the sound it makes that shifts a room, it's the silence it holds. A silence that listens, a silence that observes, a silence that over time softens what force cannot. And in 2026, that quiet strength is no longer background energy. It becomes the main current. Because when water flows through the year, it doesn't ask who can run the fastest, it asks who can feel the rhythm, and no sign feels like the rabbit. The rabbit's innate element is wood. It grows, not explodes. It heals, not conquers. When water arrives, it nourishes that wood in ways that are subtle but profound. 2026 for the rabbit isn't about breakthroughs that shatter ceilings. It's about growth that deepens roots. And in a time when so many are chasing surface wins, the rabbit moves inward and upward. Professionally, this is a year of stability, not stagnation. The efforts you've quietly sustained begin to show not as dramatic leaps but as solid steps. You may find that colleagues now look to you not for flash but for steadiness. Projects you once thought were too gentle, too soft-spoken start gaining traction. There's a quiet trust building around your work, and it's not because you raised your voice, it's because you never had to. Financially, the rabbit does not chase risk, and 2026 rewards that restraint. Steady investments, especially those tied to wellness, creativity, or long-term care, begin to return, not in bursts but in consistent flow. What others called slow, you'll realize was just sustainable. This year is not about sudden riches, it's about being nourished. And not all nourishment comes in numbers. Some comes in feeling secure, in knowing your efforts are finally meeting support. Now here's a tension the rabbit often wrestles with, the belief that softness isn't enough, that unless your wins look like someone else's, they're not real. But the deeper truth is this: some things grow better when not forced. Bamboo bends, but it doesn't break, and neither will you. This year doesn't demand you to become louder. It asks you to become clearer, not more impressive, more rooted. In relationships, the same theme repeats. Love in 2026 arrives gently. It may not sweep you off your feet, but it will steady them. New connections feel peaceful, familiar ones more forgiving. If you've longed for a kind of connection where you don't have to explain your depth, where your quiet is not mistaken for disinterest, this is the year those spaces open. They won't call attention to themselves, they'll just feel right. If you've carried the burden of being the calm one for too long, this year lets you rest in that calm, not as a role but as a home. Your sensitivity becomes your magnet, and where others rush into intensity, you draw in presence. It's not just who comes near you this year, it's who stays. Inside your space, the east sector becomes your wellspring. It's where wood energy breathes most naturally. A healthy green plant here is not symbolic, it's active Feng Shui, not plastic, not decorative, alive, because the rabbit thrives when surrounded by quiet life. Place a small wooden object or even a simple image of a tree growing upward. Not a tree in bloom, a tree in motion, because that's what this year is for you, not arrival but deepening. If you work from home, this sector is also where your ideas will find traction, not in brainstorms but in flow. A small water element nearby, nothing loud, helps that motion. And it reminds you that even ideas need space to grow, not deadlines, just sunlight. Spiritually, this year is not about changing paths, it's about seeing that you were already on it. The rabbit often looks back, wondering if a softer step was a misstep. But 2026 doesn't confirm your doubts. It dissolves them. It says, you didn't miss the moment, you became the moment. And that's why the growth feels so gentle now. It's not delayed, it's aligned. But what if that peace makes you restless? What if you feel like you should want more fire, more push? then maybe ask yourself, where did that hunger come from your soul or from a world that mistakes stillness for inaction? Because there is a kind of strength that doesn't break things, it builds them quietly. And in 2026, that quiet builder finally gets to live in the house they've been building. You were never meant to be the loudest in the room. You were meant to make the room feel quieter once you entered it. And that kind of presence is rare. It's not just emotional, it's energetic. It's not just who you are, it's what you offer. In a world too full of shouting, your stillness becomes not a gap, but a guide. And maybe that's the question 2026 asks of the rabbit. Not, are you growing fast enough? But are you growing in the right direction? Because if the roots are deep, the wind doesn't matter. And your roots finally are reaching what they've always searched for, something real enough to hold you. To the ox, patience pays in gold. Some signs move quickly because they can. The ox moves slowly because it knows. It knows that speed means nothing if the ground beneath you isn't solid. That noise fades, but stability echoes. And in 2026, the echo finally returns, not as applause, as reward. This is a water year, and water softens earth, not to weaken it, but to let it breathe. For the ox, that breath arrives after years of silent effort. Effort that didn't always feel noticed. Patience that often looked like being left behind. But 2026 brings confirmation, not in the form of grand gestures, but in results that speak without needing to shout. Professionally, this may be the first time in a long time when your steadiness becomes a magnet, not a shadow. You won't need to compete, you'll be trusted. New leadership roles appear not because you asked for them, but because people finally realize who's been holding the foundation this whole time. The project that needs precision, it comes to you. The team that's lost direction, they turn to you not for energy but for clarity. If you're building something, business, brand, or legacy, this is a year of reinforcement. Things you started 2, 3, even 5 years ago begin to mature. The roots you've been growing finally support visible growth, and what once felt like being stuck might now look like being planted. Financially, the same theme applies. This is not gambling energy, this is earned wealth. The ox doesn't chase waves, it waits for the tide to come in. In 2026 it does. Promotions, slow but steady investments, real estate, especially land-based ventures, are aligned with Earth's rhythm this year. And for those who have been quietly saving while others spent, the return isn't just in balance sheets, it's in freedom. But here's where most people miss the truth. Patience isn't passive, it's active. Waiting with awareness is harder than rushing with noise, and the ox has been waiting with awareness for years. That internal discipline, that refusal to cut corners, that's what 2026 rewards. Not because it's your turn, because it's your time. In relationships, the same grounding shows. You don't spark chaos, you anchor safety. In a world that's become louder, faster, more uncertain, your presence becomes rare. And that rarity begins to attract, not through novelty, but through depth. For singles, this might mean meeting someone who doesn't excite the nerves, but calms the breath. For those in long-term bonds, this is a year to fortify, to deepen trust, to speak less and understand more. If there's been emotional wear, unspoken strain, quiet loneliness, 2026 doesn't fix it with drama. It mends it with warmth. The ox does not need fireworks to feel connected. It needs consistency. And this year, consistency becomes magnetic. Within your home, the center becomes crucial. It's the Earth's core in Feng Shui. It reflects stability, groundedness, and well-being. Keep it open, keep it balanced. A bowl of salt water here neutralizes stagnant energy, not because it's magic, but because clean space carries intention. And intention over time becomes result. The North and Northeast also deserve attention. These sectors carry both water and earth resonance this year. A healthy green plant in the Northeast grounds you. A piece of citrine or smoky quartz supports focus and resilience. These aren't accessories, they're allies. Spiritually, 2026 is less about discovery and more about permission. You already know what works for you. The question is, have you allowed it to be enough? Have you stopped to acknowledge that building slow isn't failure, it's wisdom, that showing up again and again in small, consistent ways is what builds things that last? And maybe the deeper question is this: have you confused stillness with being stuck? Because maybe life didn't delay you, maybe it was aligning you. For the ox, time is not an enemy, it's an instrument, and in 2026 it plays your rhythm, not rushed, not loud, but undeniable. This year won't ask you to become something new. It will simply remind you of what you've always been: steady, strong, and quietly unstoppable. And for once, the world stopped spinning long enough to notice. You weren't waiting to succeed. You were becoming the kind of person success trusts, and now that it arrives, you don't need to chase it. You just need to welcome what you've already earned. 1. The horse. Fortune moves fast. Some signs wait for signs. The horse doesn't. It moves because something inside it says go, because stillness feels like a cage, because momentum feels like truth. But not every year rewards that instinct. Some years running gets you nowhere. Some years the wind pushes back, but 2026 isn't that kind of year. It is the year the wind matches your stride, and when that happens, movement becomes magic. This is the #1 sign of the year, not because it's the most careful or the most consistent, but because it's the one most ready to leap without needing all the answers. Water years don't favor hesitation, they favor flow, they favor instinct, they favor speed, not chaos, but trust in motion, and no one carries that trust more fully than the horse. Professionally, this is the kind of year that doesn't give you advance notice. The opportunity will not be labeled clearly. It may show up as a late-night message, a strange request, an unexpected conversation. The horse won't need a manual, it will feel the moment and move, and for once the moment will move with you. Projects born from passion gain momentum. Roles that once seemed out of reach become invitations, and if you've been thinking of expanding, new city, new market, new version of yourself, this is not the year to plan forever. It's the year to pack light and start. Financially, there's a wave rising, not a gentle ripple, a real surge, but the challenge isn't whether it's coming, it's whether you can catch it. And catching it means making choices quickly, intuitively, without second guessing, not blindly but bravely. Opportunities may come through travel, cross-border work, or unexpected partnerships. What felt too risky last year may feel obvious this year, because now the universe matches your pace. But with that comes a mirror. Not everything fast is good. Not every movement is forward. The horse thrives in motion, but must remember speed without direction is just spinning. And so 2026 doesn't just bring fast luck, it brings clear lanes. If you've spent the last few years refining your vision, you'll find those lanes ready. If you've been running in circles, now's the moment to turn a corner you didn't even realize was open. Relationships follow the same rhythm. This year doesn't reward drama, it rewards alignment. New love may arrive like lightning, but stay like gravity, fast to appear, slow to fade. If you've been stuck in emotional loops, 2026 breaks them, not with conflict, but with clarity. You may realize the kind of relationship you once thought was passionate was just loud, and that something quieter but stronger has been waiting all along. For those already in partnership, this is a year to rediscover movement within stability. Travel together, laugh differently, let new experiences bring out forgotten parts of you. Horses don't thrive in routine, they thrive in shared motion. And love this year becomes an adventure again. Inside the home, the south sector is your engine. Keep it bright, keep it moving. A horse figurine running forward amplifies drive. A lit candle or a tall lamp strengthens fire energy. Add red flowers not just for color but for vitality. This is not a year to decorate for beauty, it's a year to decorate for energy. Spiritually, the horse is not always drawn to stillness. But this year, stillness is where your direction sharpens. Morning rituals that involve movement, walking meditations, dance, breathwork, will feel more aligned than sitting still. Your body is your compass. If your breath feels blocked, your energy probably is too. Don't fight it, move through it. But maybe here's the question that matters most for the horse. What happens when you get what you want quickly? Will you be ready to receive it? Because sometimes the hardest part of fast success is realizing how much of your identity was built around the chase. And now that the chase ends, what remains? 2026 will not wait for you to believe you're worthy. It will move, and you must decide whether to move with it, not out of fear, not out of pressure, but because something inside you says this is the year to leap. You've carried fire. Now the wind arrives, and with it not just luck, but freedom. It's not just opportunity, but opening. Not just movement, but meaning. Final, some years ask us to fight, some ask us to endure, but 2026 asks us to listen, because this is not a year of force, it's a year of flow, a year where the current of energy doesn't crash in, it invites. And whether your Zodiac was named today or not, that invitation still belongs to you. You see, luck isn't a trophy, it's not a competition, it's a current. And that current doesn't choose based on noise, it chooses based on alignment. That's what we've explored together. 6 signs, each chosen not because they are better, louder, or faster, but because the rhythm of 2026 naturally matches something within them. The pig receives not because it pushes, but because it finally lets go. The dragon rises not to prove, but to return. The rat moves not to escape, but to land exactly where it meant to be. The rabbit grows not by effort, but by quiet trust. The ox is rewarded not for brilliance, but for consistency. And the horse, it gallops not away, but toward its own clarity. If you saw yourself in one of these signs, maybe you felt understood. And if you didn't, perhaps you were reminded energy moves in cycles. What isn't yours today may still find you tomorrow, because Feng Shui doesn't deal in favorites, it deals in flow. And flow can reach anyone who clears space for it inside their home, inside their body, inside their mind. Thank you for walking this quiet path with me, for sitting in the space between knowledge and knowing. I hope something you heard today didn't just inform you, but soften something in you, reminded you that you're not behind, you're not late, maybe you were just meant to meet this energy now. And so, from my heart to yours, may 2026 meet you gently. May it whisper where to turn, may it surprise you kindly. And may you remember, the most powerful kind of luck is the one you're already aligned with.